Hello guys and welcome to another battle report. This is against the arch enemy, the dwarven, and still working on my tournament list. Trying to build as good as possible dinosaur list. And here we go, another version of it. I have scouted up 2 units of chameleon skinks to the left. Then I have a unit of 10 Saurian warrior with the jaguar totem, so they are +1 movement, which gives them movement 5. It's great. I then have a salamander with venom this time, a block of Saurus warrior spear, and 4-up scaly skin, a bunker of skink hunters with my BSB in it. I have my skink chief, next one in the temple guard and the other one in the Saurus spearman unit. I then have Bill and Ben, the 2 tank Triscutus. I also have the unkillable Slan. For this game I got off Breath of Life, Healing Waters, Master of Earth, Oaken Throne, Spirited Woods and Stone Skin. I got another salamander who spit venom. This is because I wanna be able to handle high armor save, which I have felt I really cannot do lately. And another unit of 5 chameleon skinks. So for the dwarf opponent, we both messing up the list for the tournament, trying out different things. So I'm not really sure about his build, but I will go through what I remember. He have from left, we have some Forge Warden. He have behind that hill, he have a steam bomber and a steam copter. Then he have a unit of greybeards with a rune priest and a BSB with some upgrades. A unit of death seekers. Then in the river you have another unit of forge wardens. And then you have unit of Kingsguard, I think they are called, and his general who is pretty killy. Behind that you have a steam copter, a unit of seekers, and another unit of, I think those are called, oh, I don't even remember what they are called. They are dwarf crossbowmen, and he will have 2 5s of miners who will dig up behind my lines. And you can see we play normal deployment and using the knife edge rule for scatter out terrain. And in the middle there is the objective. And I actually choose to drop all of my units first to see how I like actually having the first turn. And you can see here I pushes up my line a bit, not too much because I still want his steam bomber and steam copter be out of range from me next turn, but otherwise I'm pretty safe. I pushes up the last cannon Triscutus close enough to shoot at his Forge Wardens. No, not his Forge. I was out of range of his Forge Warden, even if he would move up, and now in range to shoot at his steam copter, hopefully plinking some wounds off of that guy. But that's, as you can see, is my movement, pretty much conservative. So over to my medic and shooting. Well, in the medic phase I shoot the last cannon at one of his steam copter and managed to kill it, which was very much appreciated. And that's it. I think I got off Oaken Throne on my slam, but since he doesn't have any magic, I think he have 1 bones pull, maybe on his runes priest. He just let it go because he will throw dice in his turn to stop that spell. And that was my first turn. Well, for the dwarf turn, you can see as mighty movement as usual, as you can expect from a dwarf. He pretty much only move up his Forge Wardens to shoot at my Saurus block, but that's it. So for the dinosaur's turn, I move my Triscutus backward because now his guys are in range to shoot at him, so I back him off. I pushes up one of my salamander to spit at his hammer, and the other one to spit at his forge warden. But the Arco take cover behind my chameleon skinks, both the small Saurian unit and the salamander. And the other salamander were not able to take any cover, but I just want to spit at his hammer once time and that's it. If he die, that's really not an issue. As you can see, otherwise I'm pretty much stay conservative. I'm within 6 inches from the objective, so I will pretty much bombard him and force him to come to me from now on. I roll really well for the salamander, to be honest. One salamander pretty much killed 3 hammers maybe. He had some ward save against war machine or shooting maybe, and the other one killed 5 of these forge wardens. Then that was really good from my part of view. Well, I actually did not have any picture of his second turn, but basically you can see his movement here. Yeah, pushes up his greybeard in the forest, not as much so he loses steadfast or anything, but he are in the forest a bit at least, so I will not charge him. Otherwise his king's guards move up a bit, and his seeker to the right flank move up a bit, but that's it for his movement. As you can see from my movement, I pushes my chameleon skinks at the side of his unit, which was maybe not a good idea. They cannot do much there. They will shoot off some crossbow, but nothing more during the rest of the game actually. Otherwise I pretty much back away with everything. I take my chameleon skink up to shoot at his steam copter. My Saurian spearman and temple guard backs away from the objective to avoid a shot from his. I found out he have the horrible defensive dwarf banner that makes you lose a d6 to your charge move, so I really didn't want to risk a long charge for that one. You can also see I put my salamander now behind my slan, and that's because he will have to shoot at hard cover. And if you want to shoot at my slan, fine, that's okay, he can do that. He will not kill my slan anyway, or cult lord as they are called nowadays. The chameleon skink managed to take down the steam copter, and the salamander got a direct hit into his greybeards, and you can see they lost like a dozen dudes, I think. Well, now we start to realize how much in a bad position he are in, because my salamander are pretty much hurting his units. You can see his hammer are almost depleted from fire from the salamander. So he pushes up, he takes his greybeards onto that objective, and otherwise not much of a movement actually. His GI steam copter is blocking up my temple guard from charging them. I think it could be a very even matchup for my Saurian spearman versus the greybeards, so it's risky, but we will see what will happen. And the shooting phase, not much happened at all. I think I have lost a couple of Saurus from shooting, maybe some temple guard as well, but that's it. Well, for the dinosaurs turn, what I did now is basically I pushes up my chameleon skink to shoot at his forge wonders, and I throw out a skink captain in front of his greybeards, because I want to shoot him one more time with my salamanders before going into him, because I am having a pretty much a shooting advantage against him, so I don't want to go into combat yet. My temple guard charges that steam copter and kill it. And you can see both the Triscutus have turned around to face off. He have 2 minor units who have come up in my back. I actually throw down the skink hunters in front of them to shaft them up a turn, and potentially counter charge him next turn with the two big dinosaurs. And for dwarf, what he did here is he basically throw his seeker in front of my temple gods. His graveyard charges my skink captain, and yeah, that's basically it. I think his Forge Warden charges first my one unit of Chameleon Skinks. I fled. Then they charged the other one. I fled. And that was because I don't want to take fire from them this turn. So I just move away. And now there are only 4 of them remaining. So they are not too much of a threat anymore. His miner charges my skink and they will probably make short work of them. I do have poison and higher initiative than him, so that's a plus from my point of view. But yeah, that's it for his movement. And in this combat I did pretty good for myself. There is 4 dead dwarf and 4 dead skinks, so that's a fair trade, I think. So for the dinosaur's turn, I actually choose not to charge with the Saurian Spearman yet. I want to shoot one more time with my Salamander. The Temple Guard goes into the Seekers. My Chameleon Skink rallies. And that's basically my whole movement. And yeah, I kill the Seekers, and I think the Greybeard suffers some more heavy losses from Salamander fire. And over to Dwarf turn. And yeah, to straw some salt into his wound, I won this combat. He killed a skink, I killed like 2 miners, and one of the miners failed the leadership test and they run off the board. Well, for his turn, his Greybeard charges the front of my Spearman and his Hammer charges the flank of the Temple Guard. I actually on purpose left him the flank because I want him to charge into the Temple Guard, because I think I strike first, I can just kill a lot of those King's Guards, and I will challenge with my Lord and hopefully he will take it with his Lord, and I will see how good my Lord can do against his Lord. And that's it for his movement. He don't really have much more. He has a unit of 5 Seekers up there and some Forge Warden, but that's it. Not much more. Could do much. And well, for combat, the Saurian Spearman, who I think I got off the toughness buff on, so they were toughness 8. Did pretty much kill off a lot of Greybeards. Since I have the totem that gave me Forest Skin, I could not pursue them, but I did at least take the BSB, and that unit is pretty much combat ineffective. Other news, my Saurian Warlord strikes first from the World only did 2 wounds to him, unfortunately. I think I rolled average. He rolled very much above average and killed my Saurian Warlord, unfortunately. So he's dead now, so I'm not stubborn. I was steadfast at the time, thankfully. And I passed my reform check, so I reformed to face him, and now I will just kill off all the King's Guard and his Lord will probably break. And that's actually the time when we break off the game. It was a victory for the dinosaur. Unfortunately, I lost my Lord, so I have moved some item around again. So now I have a sort of Kingslayer on him to get him a little bit more better in challenge against other general, not only being a tank but also able to do some damage to my opponent. I think I dropped a Temple God for that or something like that. But I like this list. I want to get in the movement banner on my 10-man unit of Saurian warriors, so we will see how I will do that. I will do some more experimenting with this list, but we will have another back-to-back game with the Kingslayer sword on my general, but not the movement banner on the Saurian warrior. Soon. We did it precisely after this game. After talking some bullshit, we played another game, And that's it. I hope you enjoyed. Have any question, feel free to post them below and I will try to answer them as soon as I can. Feel free to like and start subscribing for more of this high quality content.